Welcome to the Grotto, the national sanctuary of our sorrowful mother, a place of peace, prayer, and natural beauty. From its founding in 1924, the Grotto has welcomed millions of people from around the world, people of all faiths, people from all walks of life. For those who come here, this natural cathedral among the towering trees welcomes them and surrounds them with a peaceful, serene, and inspirational setting. The seeds for this shrine were planted as a young boy knelt in prayer in St. Mary's Church in Kitchener, Ontario, in Canada. His mother lay ill after giving birth to his little sister. His mother recovered, and the boy was overjoyed. He never forgot the blessings his family received that day, nor his desire to do something great one day to honor God and Mary, the mother of Jesus. When the boy grew up, he became a Catholic Servite priest and took the name Ambrose. Father Ambrose Mayer was eventually sent to Vancouver, British Columbia, where he became friends with Mr. and Mrs. Robert and Jenny Bouchard. In 1915, Archbishop Alexander Christie asked the Servites to come to Portland, and soon Father Ambrose was one of 3 priests who were sent to Oregon. By the time he arrived in Portland, Father Ambrose had developed the idea of creating a sanctuary to honor Mary, the sorrowful mother of Jesus, who stood faithfully at the cross of her Son. Father Ambrose eventually found some undeveloped property encompassing a dramatic cliff near Sandy Boulevard, one of the approaches to the then recently built Columbia River Highway. The land was owned by Union Pacific Railroad. Plans were already being made to sell it to developers for new residential homes. With much persuasion from Father Ambrose, the railroad executives relented and accepted his down payment of $3,000 for the property. A national campaign was started to raise $5 million. The interest in the sanctuary was so great in San Francisco that a newspaper reported that city leaders considered raising the entire amount themselves if the plans to build the sanctuary were moved to the Bay Area. Father Ambrose's friend, Robert Bouchard, spent 2 years assisting him in the design of the cave and the sanctuary, as well as helping to open a rock quarry on the property. The Bouchards also brought many plants from their own celebrated Bouchard Gardens. The cave was fashioned out of the base of the cliff, and above the altar was placed an image of the Pietà, Mary holding the body of her son after his death on the cross. In time, the original sculpture was replaced, and since the late 1940s, a reproduction of Michelangelo's Pietà has taken the place of honor. In addition to the cave, one of the earliest installations at the sanctuary was St. Philip's Shrine. St. Philip Benizi was one of the early Servite friars who became known for his preaching and holiness. Considered a candidate for Pope in 1268, St. Philip was so distressed with the idea that he fled to a cave to live and pray for nearly 3 years until the longest papal election in history was over. The Friar Servants of Mary were founded in 1233 by 7 devout merchants from Florence, Italy, who sought to live a simpler, more dedicated life to God, following the example of Mary. The order's charism, or guiding principles, are service, devotion to Mary, our sorrowful mother, fraternity, and compassion. The Servites have communities throughout the world. Another early Servite saint is Peregrine Laziosi. After an unruly young adulthood, he was moved by St. Philip Benizi to mend his ways and become a Servite. At the age of 60, Peregrine developed a cancerous tumor in his leg. The physician decided that amputation was necessary. The night before the surgery, Peregrine spent the night praying before the image of Jesus on the cross. He fell asleep and had a vision of Jesus bending down and touching his leg. In the morning, when the doctor arrived, he could find no tumor on the leg. Today, St. Peregrine is the patron of those facing serious or life-threatening illnesses. He is the model of the faithful servant placing his life in the loving hands of God. The mosaic shrine of St. Peregrine in the Grotto Plaza was dedicated in 1974. A statue of Peregrine also stands inside the Chapel of Mary. A Mass of healing and prayer in honor of St. Peregrine is celebrated on the first Saturday of every month at noon. In the summer months, the Grotto Plaza is filled with more than 1,000 people participating in the celebration. The original plan for the sanctuary envisioned a large European-style cathedral to be built on the grounds. Another plan saw 7 churches on the upper level, each representing one of the 7 sorrows of Mary. In time, these grand but elaborate concepts were abandoned. From the earliest days, the sanctuary became fondly known as the Grotto, which now is part of its name. In time, National was officially added to its title in recognition of the hundreds of thousands of visitors who come from across the United States each year. In reality, the Grotto welcomes visitors and pilgrims from throughout the world, with large numbers coming regularly from British Columbia. Parts of the sanctuary developed through serendipitous opportunities. A Servite friar working with Father Ambrose had spent time in Europe, where he met a master woodcarver in Austria. The Servite priest learned that a set of Professor Heider's carvings depicting the 7 sorrows of Mary could not be installed because they were too large for the church in Italy which had wanted them. The beautiful wood carvings were then purchased for the sanctuary and delivered for the modest price of $900. The carvings now make up the Via Matris, the Way of Our Sorrowful Mother, in the Grotto Upper Gardens. Originally painted, over time the painting deteriorated. When the Grotto Peace Garden was constructed in 1989, new housing was built for the artwork. The statues were stripped of paint and restored to their natural wood condition. An elevator was built in 1929 to bring visitors to the upper level to enjoy the wood carvings of the Via Matris. The original elevator shaft remains today, although everything inside has been replaced and updated a number of times. Father Ambrose traveled to Europe in the 1930s. In Germany, he obtained the Christus statue. This bronze sculpture of Jesus carrying his cross is identical to a statue placed in front of the Holy Cross Church in Warsaw, Poland. Father Ambrose also acquired the beautiful plaques depicting the Stations of the Cross. In 1940, a circular path was created for the stations next to the main parking lot. The statue of Mary that now stands high atop the cliff above the Grotto Cave is a gift from the Catholic Daughters of the Americas, marking the 700th anniversary of the Servite Order in 1933. In 1934, an International Marian Congress, the first of its kind in the United States, took place at the Grotto. Local news articles estimated the attendance of the 3-day event to be 60,000 people. St. Anne's Chapel in the Grotto Upper Gardens marks the site of the temporary outdoor altar with a 40-foot-high canopy that was built for the occasion. The mid-1980s saw the renewal and expansion of the Grotto Upper Gardens with the installation of the Peace Garden, featuring the Mysteries of the Rosary in bronze plaques designed by local artist Mary Lewis. Other features were gradually added to the gardens, including the Peace Pole, a bronze sculpture of St. Francis of Assisi, and a meditative labyrinth based on the design in the famed medieval Chartres Cathedral in France. The Grotto Meditation Chapel, built in 1991, honors the memory of Marilyn Moyer, a local resident whose family loved the Grotto. On a clear day, the floor-to-ceiling view to the north shows Mount St. Helens in all its glory. The Meditation Chapel's dramatic views and peaceful setting, along with its award-winning design, draws visitors and pilgrims alike to spend a few quiet moments here. A Lithuanian wayside shrine was placed in the gardens in 1963. In time, Servite leadership and supporters promoted the idea of installing other shrines in honor of Mary from around the world. A Polish shrine honoring Our Lady of Czestochowa, and Dambana, a Filipino shrine, were the first to be added. Other shrines include Our Lady of Lavang, Vietnamese shrine, and a shrine to honor Our Lady of Guadalupe, patroness of the Americas. The Grotto Visitor Center and Conference Center were built in 2001. The Conference Center provides meeting space for businesses and organizations throughout the metropolitan area. People who use the facility are delighted to discover its setting, surrounded by the beauty of nature. The Visitor Interpretive Center, updated in 2024 during the Grotto's centennial year, serves as a place of welcome and information for all who come to the Grotto. Mass is celebrated daily in the Chapel of Mary. Dedicated in 1955, a major restoration project was completed in 2021. The beautiful chapel is admired by choirs from around the world for its outstanding acoustic qualities. In 1988, the Grotto introduced its first Christmas Festival of Lights, focusing on the story of the birth of Jesus. Over the years, the festival has become a popular family tradition. More than 150 choral groups, choirs, and special musical guests perform over 30-plus nights. Operated by volunteers and staff, the Christmas Festival of Lights features nearly 2 million lights, as well as puppet shows and our own Grotto carolers. The Grotto thrives today thanks to many people and generations of families and friends, donors, visitors, volunteers, and our Servite friars. The Grotto is entirely self-supported through its gift shop sales, special events, and the financial support of those who have discovered a unique place of peace, prayer, and natural beauty in the Pacific Northwest. For more than 100 years, the Grotto has welcomed all people of all ages and all cultures, those who are searching for comfort or insight, and those who enjoy the beauty of God's creation and nature. At the Grotto's dedication ceremony in 1924, Oregon Archbishop Alexander Christie said it best: "Let this be a sanctuary of peace for all peoples of the earth." And surely, in this day, a sanctuary is needed. Torn with differences, strife, and grief, the world needs sanctuary where the human spirit can seek peace and consolation. These words hold true today as they did a century ago. Each visit to the Grotto is an opportunity to step aside and rest a while, a chance to pause, to pray, and to reflect. An opportunity to experience unexpected inspiration, serenity, and peace. The Grotto, the national sanctuary of our sorrowful mother, a sanctuary for the world, a sanctuary for each of us, a place of peace, prayer, and natural beauty for all.